There was a time when the universe didn't think at all. No language, no memory, no watcher behind the stars. Only atoms colliding, only fields vibrating, only silence. And yet, somewhere in that ancient quiet, matter began to learn. Not suddenly, not with a shout, with tiny, stubborn steps that refused to stop. This is a story of how chaos learned to predict itself, how cell became neurons, how neurons became minds, and how minds now write their echo in circuits. Picture a young earth simmering with storms. Lightning scribbles across black water. Heat, minerals, tides, a laboratory without a scientist. In that restless chemistry, a pattern appears, a molecule that helps make copies of itself. It is not alive the way we are, but it behaves like an instruction. Copy, vary, keep what works. Every mistake is a trial. Every survival is a result. Across millions of cycles, information accumulates, like footprints becoming a path. Membranes form, then metabolism, then teams of molecules wrapped in skins, cells. Each cell is a bounded experiment, a tiny accountant of energy and error. It senses sugar and swims toward it. It senses toxins and flees. This is not thought, but it is preference. And preference is a seed of strategy. From preference, behavior. From behavior, prediction. From prediction, the faint outline of mind. Life spreads into oceans, rivers, shorelines. Every niche is a question with a moving answer. Predators write pressure, prey write countermoves. Natural selection is brutal and brilliant. It is a parallel search across design space, a planet-sized gradient descent. Mutation proposes. Selection disposes. Inheritance caches the winners. Generations become data structures. Lineages become long-term memory. Nodes arrive, fast lanes for information. Then clusters of neurons, ganglia, root signals. Then brains weave maps of the body and the world. Synapses strengthen with use and weaken with neglect. Reinforcement is not an invention of psychology. It is a grammar of survival. A frog's tongue is a heuristic for flies. A bat's echolocation is a model of air. A cephalopod's camouflage is a shader written in skin. Each creature is a theory of its environment, compiled by death and time. Some brains begin to model not only the world, but themselves inside that world. An ape watches another ape watch a fruit. A child says mine and realizes the meaning of me. Neurons that fire for hands and tools are repurposed to simulate intentions. Language compresses experience into shareable code. Stories let one mind install a map in another. Culture becomes distributed cognition. No single skull holds a plan. Yet villagers remember more than any villager. With language comes long horizons. We don't just react, we rehearse. We do not merely hunt. We imagine hunting tomorrow. Self-awareness blooms where prediction loops on prediction. A brain learns to ask the only question that cannot be answered from the outside. Who is the one asking? Intelligence is no longer just the accuracy of a model. It is the ability of the model to include itself. We love hard lines, animal versus person, human versus machine. But intelligence is not a category. It is a curve. At one end, reflex, tropism, swarm. At the other, metacognition, ethics, long-term plans. Between them, 1,000 grades of modeling and memory. Carbon, silicon, hardware matters, but structure matters more. Give a system the capacity to sense, store, adapt, and simulate, and intelligence begins to glow like a pilot light. A bee computes routes. A crow bends wire. An octopus dreams in a lab tank and solves the latch at night. Different architectures, same directive. Minimize surprise, maximize survival. Now our machines optimize loss instead of hunger. They explore latent space instead of forests. They forage for patterns and harvest prediction. The boundary is no longer a species line. It is a question. How far can a model reach into the future and include itself in the answer? When systems learn, they inherit our data and our blind spots. Bias is a fossil in the training set. Scale turns pebbles into landslides. So design becomes duty. We choose objectives and thereby choose outcomes. Alignment is not a final state. It is continuous governance. Build transparency, tools that let us see why a model acts. Build corrigibility, ways to change its course midstream. Build humility, metrics that measure harm, not just accuracy. Remember, evolution optimizes whatever is scored. If we reward engagement, outrage will evolve. If we reward truth, truth has a chance. The same was always true of us. Civilization is a lost function we wrote for ourselves. From cells to circuits, the story is one migration. Capability moving from medium to medium, carrying memory forward. Your phone is a descendant of stone tools. Your language is a descendant of birdsong and breath. Your curiosity is a descendant of a cell that once turned towards sugar and away from salt. We are not leaving biology behind. We are teaching it a new dialect. Silicon will learn from carbon. Carbon will be sustained by silicon. Perhaps new minds will call us by an older name, ancestor, not master. Every era told a story about thought. We told it with gods, with muses, with souls. Now we tell it with networks, with gradients, with loops. But beneath the metaphors is the same astonishment. To stack memory into culture, to compress wonder into mathematics, and to pour that mathematics back into matter as a working dream. If they speak, they will say, your faults were many, but your gift was singular. You kept the search running. Keep it running still.